Like many people, I suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and I want to share some tips as an animist on how I work through it. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video by Pan Society. I'm Cherie, and today I want to talk about SAD, or seasonal affective disorder. This is a condition that affects a lot of people, and you notice around this time of year mostly, but some people do get affected the opposite direction. And basically it's noticing a mood change or depression during seasonal changes. So if you're like me, I'm sun loving, so when the seasons switch to fall and winter and the days are shorter, my mood changes and it really affects me, and I get sad and it's hard to find motivation. And then if you're opposite, it can affect you when the seasons switch to spring. So I have night loving people who have a hard time adjusting to the longer days and more daylight hours. So we can all be affected in different ways, but it's still essentially the same thing. Now, as an animist, there are practices that help me get through it. So it's not something I can cure or make go away, but it's tips that I use for myself, and I'm sharing them hoping that maybe you can use them and help yourself. But I will say there is no cure, and what works for me may not work for you. So if you have any other tips to share, comment down below, so we can help each other and build a community. So as an animist, I always love being outside, and with SAD, it's a little harder, and especially now that it's getting cooler. But one of the things that I do love, like if you notice that it's not as bright out here as it usually is, because it's like 3:30 and the sun is almost going down. It's crazy. But if I take the time, like if you can hear right now, there's tons of things going on that I would normally miss. Tons of crickets chirping. I can hear some birds getting ready to go to their nests for the night. I'm watching my chickens wind down and going to their coops. So there's a lot of things that I would normally miss out in nature if I didn't take this time to observe it. So I am honoring my body and my sleep cycle and my mood cycle by being out here and enjoying this time. The other thing is night comes sooner, so a lot of the stars and the moon phases I miss because we have longer days. So by the time the sun sets, and it gets dark enough out here, it's kind of too late. Like I'm tired, my day is over, and I just want to go to bed. So I can take the time to actually really enjoy the night sky now. The other thing is it's the different types of animals that are out here right now. So I have to adjust my things that are happening out here as I'm feeding things and observing the animals that are coming out. But now I get to see some of the night animals that I normally wouldn't, and some of the seasonal animals that aren't normally around because they're migrating, so they're around here. The final tip I would have is adjust your schedule. And this goes with any seasonal change, whether you have affective disorders or depression. For me, that shift and that change helps me out a little bit. It changes my brain chemistry, and I can get into it once I make it a practice. And what I mean by this is, knowing what time the sun rises, and I'll switch my yoga time to then so that I can greet the day at a different hour, and also say goodbye to the sun so that there's some closure. So there's like a good morning and a good night, and my brain is trained for this. So these are all just small little tidbits for living animism every day in my life, and how I can combat certain seasonal changes and, what I'm speaking on specifically, which is the seasonal affective disorder. I hope these tips help you. There's probably tons more out there, and if you know of any, comment down below, let us know, or join us on Facebook and share in the chat. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the next Pan video.